about your significant other, huh? He's fighting for his life and took you that long to ask. Think you're innocent.
Oh, it's like,
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
so low. Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
The trophy?
Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No. I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Got 4 and 7? What is that?
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437. Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so. Now, back to door number 437. Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Hey, what's that?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
$419?
Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
Is he got a bus? Why so loud?
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430. Yes! We did it!
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
To the door on my left. We entered this bus. We entered the door on my right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Drinking all in, but I can't drink nothing crazy.
Yes, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, Here you sit looking at these chairs and some... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
It doesn't look nice.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Hey, chill up. Okay, why do I extra short now? Because this guy's extra tall. This looks like extra tall too. This chair looks small. Like, wow. What does this guy work,
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
I jump off.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Good.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Did I do it? Oh no. Wait, man. Okay, I can pick it up. Hold on.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double-check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Stanley?
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, it can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people.
Okay, she's nice.
Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Okay. You need practice.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the
This guy
best
didn't.
part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices
At
per
least say you
day.
got some choice.
Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside.
Yeah.
At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
So you want to make good decisions or no? I'm confused.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Okay. Wait. Okay. Are you going up?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
I didn't do it
Imagine the
before.
main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That
Okay, I'm
story
gonna do
would
it.
make no sense at all.
Right.
We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Oh wait, they fenced everything off. Before it wasn't fenced off. Before I didn't jump either, but okay.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Got you.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So if I enter it on the right again, should I do it? Should I listen like a bitch? You bitch? Or should I think? I chose that path. It's kind of, it's a story. Right? Can't go back. So, let's just do this. Meaning, money, no, catch it, tiger. I just holler, let it go. My father or mother picks the very best one, and you might be it.
No! Why did you do that?
What happened?
Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
You can't do anything here, bro. I have to say it. Can I just say anything? Say anything yet?
Oh, it's ruined. I can't
Bruh.
believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
You don't have to. I don't think so. Just get on the table.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story.
Let me get out of here.
If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make...
Well,
behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
I was going back.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
So you can keep yourself?
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So it doesn't register.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
That he will resend me. Okay.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I was different. But no one does.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Can walk down, sir. Whoa.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath
Who moved
and then spoke the code.
bookcase? You need that truth code? Night Shark 115. Wait, what?
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115.
Yeah,
He
Night
spoke
Shark
it into the
115.
receiver right
I thought I'm
there on
dumbass.
the
Oh my god.
wall.
Night Shark 115? Do I actually have to do shit? Night Shark
I'm sorry, is
115.
there a problem?
Yeah, I don't think
You
there's a
didn't
mic on this
mishear
game.
me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Bro. Lemonade 552. Didn't work.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's
No
pretty
phone?
humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I
didn't
asked
say
you
that.
for this one single thing, for your respect.
I literally
The
did it, bro.
kind of respect
You're crashing
Stanley
out, bro.
shows
Shit,
for
some
his
weird shit.
choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
Bro, what?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hey, go to your right.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The
I
end?
need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
Wait, is that actually the end? That's all
Stanley,
the
this
end?
is important.
You're lying.
The story needs you. It needs you to make a
So it just
decision.
needs me to...
It cannot exist without you. Do you understand
That's it,
me?
yo?
Whatever choice you make is just fine.
That
They're
seems like
both
the
correct.
longest
You
shit.
cannot be wrong here. We can work together.
Are
Yes,
you
and
people?
whatever you do, I simply need you to take that step forward.
Japanese
Please
translations.
choose. Do something.
Toys.
Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this.
Oh, Sony, yeah.
The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you
That's
listening
cute.
to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure
Space
your
on.
choice is
Is there
correct. That is the
whatever.
best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
So, yeah. So, 7. Environment's different.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Crouch. Oh, it's interact. There's no jump. Open this one.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Okay, so what are you interrupting, bro?
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Oh. So there is.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
I don't remember.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path.
Yeah,
Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite."
Hey, wrong
I
ending,
hope
buddy?
your friends find this concerning.
Yeah.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really
What?
stupid.
What?
He
Wait, what?
probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or
Bro,
with
somebody's
drug
not even
money.
fat, bro.
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Why is he being mean? The
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen.
Hey, can you stop?
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Got you.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I
Guess
guarantee
what?
you can't do any worse than the person who
Guess
came
what?
before you.
Yeah.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's
Yes.
a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish?
Yeah.
Fungus?
A
Look,
fish.
you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Hey, it's pretty tough, man. I give up. You can go down. You can go down. Hey, excuse me. That's on.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Whoa. So, who's this? Same thing. What? Lamar?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
Go outside.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
So we're gonna end.
Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I am okay. I am so okay. Can we get on? Just ran into a wall. Hello? Still here.
Stanley began screaming.
Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
And everything went black.
Oh.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh, changed.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
That's kind of crazy. She just left.
This would explain the film set discovered in Jody's house. As it turned out, Jody and Ruby both had a
Yeah, we're done.
following on
That's it.
Instagram and YouTube. Jody was a therapist, but her accounts focused on counseling, family dynamics, and alignment with the Church of Latter-day Saints, of which she and Ruby were both members. She called her program